Hi, wherever you are in the world, welcome again to Island up in Fort. My name is Lenwet Duane. Today we up over into Clarendon. Yes, we're still in the parish of Clarendon. I'm going to talk to a gentleman now. This gentleman has created history last year in the DaCosta Cup football competition in Jamaica. This is schoolboy football we are talking. His name is Mr. Jermaine Douglas. Mr. Douglas, welcome.
Come on, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. As I said, we are at Central High School in Clarendon. Mr. Douglas, tell us about your early life.
Ah, country youth.
Country youth.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Born in the hills of Clarendon.
But normally people don't. People are not too proud of the country youth, you know. They want every man say they come from town. So you know.
Well, I could claim that too,
Mhm.
but I am proud of my country roots.
Yeah.
I've had a very complex childhood.
Right.
I was born in Clarendon,
Yeah.
close to Kellis, the district road in all.
Mhm.
Spent some years in Douglas Castle,
Mhm.
just beyond the border of Clarendon, where my father is from.
Right.
Lived in Kingston for a while too.
Mhm.
I lived in Avondale for a few years.
For a few years.
Yeah.
Right.
Then came back to country.
Then came back to country. And how was life in country, man? Mango, breadfruit, those things.
Yeah, man, I'm from where vegetable is grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Kelly's Douglas Castle region, a lot of vegetable.
Yeah. And then primary school.
Um, I went to two primary schools actually.
Mhm.
I went to Macme, was then all age.
Yeah.
Three.
Mhm.
I went to Macme all age, Kelly's primary. And then while I was in Kingston, I went to Constant Spring Primary and Junior High.
Were you a sports person in school, in primary school, or you just was like a book person? Did you represent the school in football, anything like that?
The early years of my life, book was never at the forefront of my thinking.
Book.
Book was never at the forefront
Really?
of my thinking.
Yeah.
I just went to school because I was sent to school.
Yeah.
Yes. I got involved. I was involved in track and field
Yeah.
at a young age.
Mhm.
I got involved in football when I went to Kingston.
Okay.
But it was never a situation where I thought I was going to accomplish anything academically.
Academically.
Yeah, it was just the formalities of going to school. I did well in school. I never even realized I was doing well in school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so that was the early part of it and all of that. You say you go into some football in primary school and so on. Yes,
Yes. When I went to Constant Spring, I kind of dabbled in football.
in football. And then high school now.
Yes. And I left Kingston and came back to Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
I came back in the middle of the school year, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And those years, like I said, school for me was just formalities.
Yeah.
So I went to the school that was closest to me. So I spent a year and a few months at Kelly Secondary then.
Okay.
Yes, man. And while there, I met Mr. Garfield Robinson.
Garfield Robinson, I know that name, man.
Yes, man. He is integral in the development of youth football
Yeah.
in Clarendon.
In Clarendon, right.
Yes, from the days of John Green.
John Green.
Yes.
The name John Green come back again. Yes, yeah.
So I met Mr. Robinson.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, and maybe it was destined to be so, we both went to Kelly's at the same time.
Oh. So while he was coaching,
Right, he came as a physical education
teacher.
at Kelly's Secondary then,
same time as you were
Same
going as a
time.
student.
as a student.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yes, so both of us went there, I think it was in January,
Right.
and we met and started training with him.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, at the time I was just playing football, just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was at Kelly's first that teacher started saying to me that, listen, did you know that you are bright?
Oh. So you didn't know you were bright. It was at Kelly's secondary actually at that time.
Yes,
Teachers start to say to you, do you know you are bright? You have an ability.
Yes. That's the first time I started thinking about academics.
Academics. All right, but what happened is that at Kelly's you couldn't enter the Costa Cup. You
No.
mentioned secondary. Oh, in those days secondary school couldn't enter.
Couldn't enter. So
Right.
they had the secondary competition. I played, I think, 2 matches. Okay.
They had a secondary competition back then?
Yes. They did.
Oh, against the different secondary schools.
I
Okay.
played 2 games at Kelly's. One of them as a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My first game.
Okay.
Because I was very athletic as a youngster. So never had any goalkeeper the first game. I think it was against Thompson.
So you were a goalkeeper?
I played
No,
goalkeeper.
man,
my
no goal
first year.
scorer on you, man.
No, man.
We can't see you as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, man, I played, and I did very well.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I thought I would have been a goalkeeper, and then we had a summer camp with Mr. Robbins again,
Okay.
and we were playing football.
Yeah.
And I remember I made a pass to him, and like he stopped and looked at me, and
Mm.
like everything changed from then.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was integral in getting me at Edwin Allen High School.
Okay, he got you into Edwin Allen now.
And
Edwin Allen could enter the DaCosta Cup now.
yes, man.
Oh,
I never did any primary entrance exam.
yeah,
When I was ahead of my time in school. Like I said, I never knew I was doing well as a youngster.
as a youngster,
It's
right?
years after I recognized that, even in primary school, at the time at MACME, I was one of the youngest students in the class,
Yeah.
and I never knew that.
Okay.
But my father died while I was in grade 6.
Wow. You lost that at gate 6.
In grade 6.
Oh, wow.
At the time I was just 10 and in grade 6.
Oh.
And I lost my dad just before they would have done the common entrance exam.
Yes,
I
yes.
never got an opportunity to do common entrance.
Okay.
So that was my ticket into high school was because I could play
Football, Kelly over to Edwin Allen. How was the journey at Edwin Allen now?
When I went to Edwin Allen, I was apprehensive. I left some students at Kelly's primary when I went to Kingston.
Yeah.
Because I went to Edwin Allen in grade 9. And I was placed in a class with some of these students.
Yeah.
And while I was at Kelly's primary, these are the students. You know, those days, not everyone got the opportunity to do common entrance.
Yeah.
So they would unpick some students and they would attend extra classes and all of that
Right.
in preparation for common entrance.
Yeah.
So when I got to Edwin and I went into my class, I was looking at these students. So I'm there sitting and I'm saying, Jesus Christ, we can't manage this.
Yeah.
But I buckled down and did some work.
Yeah.
And I remember after the first set of exams at Edwin Allen High School, they had an award ceremony. And I still have the certificates at home. I collected 7 certificates.
Really?
7 certificates.
So the teacher told you at Kelly that you have ability based on what you're saying. And then when you collect these now awards, that really push you to do anything really academic?
Yes, man, because you started to believe. Because these are students. And like I said, I left these students at Kelly's primary being prepared as elite students to do common entrance.
Right. And now you are rubbing shoulders with them.
And doing better than
and
them.
doing better than them. The people who you leave and you won't get that opportunity.
Never got that opportunity.
All right. Tell me about the football at Edwin Allen. You represent Edwin Allen?
Yes, man, I played under 16 for Edwin Allen and DaCosta Cup.
You play under 16 and DaCosta Cup?
DaCosta Cup.
With who?
You
remember any outstanding name people may be playing or so back then?
I don't think many persons from my group went on to pursue football, but we had some talented players.
Right.
I remember Jason Barnes, he was the captain at the time.
Okay.
He's integral in what is happening at Edwin Allen now, the resurgence of the program. He's working in the background.
Right.
But there were outstanding players there at the time.
At the time.
Witticks.
Wow.
Good players.
Good players.
Yes, man.
Did you come out of the zone in that time because Edwin Allen?
Edwin Allen dominated.
You did leave the zone in time.
That was a period in Edwin Allen.
Tell me no Clarendon, College and Lennon.
No. And when I played, we weren't in Clarendon. Lennon was nowhere near Edwin Allen at that period.
At that time?
At that time. No.
So it was you and Edwin Allen and Clarendon College because Clarendon always live in that zone.
The year when I played, we were not in the Clarendon College zone.
Oh.
Edwin Allen would normally meet Clarendon in the second round.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yes.
You were out of that zone.
Right. We played with the schools from Manchester side.
Okay.
Yeah, man, easy qualification in those days.
Oh, easy qualification.
Yeah,
going to second. You're going to quarterfinal or just to second?
Yes. And as a matter of fact, our story, 1999, we went into the second round, never lost a game in the second round, drew a game with Bintil,
and
went out on goal difference.
Oh, that show you
out
up.
of the DaCosta Cup.
Very
good team that year.
Wow. You remember that year, 1991?
1999.
99, Edwin Allen team.
Yes,
okay.
man. Very good team, and we
Very
went
good
out
team.
on goal difference. And
Okay.
imagine we won, we defeated VERE, I think 3-0 at Brooks Park.
Yeah.
And after, it's not like now where information is instant.
Yeah.
So we were celebrating. As we were in zone with St. Thomas, VERE, Dintil.
Right.
We would have beaten St. Thomas. We drew with Dintil 1-1. And having beaten VERE now, we were confident that we would have advanced.
Oh, so you won the VERE match at Brook Park and up there jumping up, celebrating. And didn't know that you were out there and goal difference.
On our way down,
Yeah.
we heard it on the radio.
Oh
in
my
the bus,
God.
that we were out.
Jeez.
Having scored one less goal.
One less. Wow.
Than
That must be a heartbreaker.
yes, man.
That's
It was.
a heartbreaker.
And then for me, it turned out to be even worse than what at the time,
Yeah.
because I never got a chance to play my final year.
Oh, you didn't
So the
get it?
following season, I got injured in pre-season.
Oh, wow. And that you didn't play for the entire year?
I never
The
played for the
entire season?
entire season.
Wow. So there come the disappointment the year before of not make this cast a goal difference, and now you are injured in pre-season.
Injured in pre-season.
Wow. As a senior man.
Yeah, man, I got injured against Charlie Mount. Vivid in my mind, right?
Jesus Christ. All right, we're gonna touch a area now where I knew you, GC Foster College. That is where I knew you. Tell me about your GC Foster journey.
You know that it's something I theater, even my students, something I discuss with them a lot.
Yeah.
Growing up as a young man, I am from rural Jamaica.
Yes.
And I had contrasting sides of the family. My father's side of the family was of a different social class than my mother's side. I was more influenced by my mother's side because I spent a few years with my father. After he passed, I went back to live with my mother.
Yeah.
And my mother's side of family was transitioning out of poverty.
Right.
No one around us attended college.
So
when I left, I ended up at GC Foster College, and for years I've been trying to figure out where I got the idea from that I could go.
So no one from your side of where from around you,
around my immediate family,
have never walked into a tertiary institute.
Never attended.
You are the first one to do that.
First one from my immediate family and my mother's
What give you that push?
That's something I still today try to figure out where I got inspiration from and why GC Foster. I asked that question. Why GC Foster?
Yeah, because other college were doing the same physical education.
And I could have gotten
into them same way. And GC and you end up at GC.
Only college. Like I said, when looking back now, when you're older and wiser and you look back on some of the decisions that you would have made in the past.
Right.
And you wonder, why did I do that? I never applied for another institution. If I never got through to GC Foster College, I would have been at home.
You have never done GC.
GC Foster was the only institution
I knew you quite well at GC. You play football at GC. Did you play on a winning team there that did not last any match?
Yes, man.
But you're not hype with him. I see other people are hype for them on GC team with this and that. I see photograph with you, but you're not hype with it. You can't, but you been there.
It's not in my nature.
Yeah.
Not in my nature. It is sometimes embarrassing for me to talk about myself.
Right.
And people say you need to promote yourself, but it's not something that comes natural to me. So,
a more laid back person and let the work do what they say. Because you were there, you went undefeated in Intercal, man.
Yes, man. I played with some excellent players, the Patrick Grahams and
the Patrick Grahams. Give me some names, man, because this is the GC section, and I'm excited about this part.
Yes, man. I played with the Patrick Grahams,
the
Honeywell, the Devon Honeywell, the Damian McCallums. I even played with Jason Morrison's.
Jason Morrison went out to represent Jamaica.
Yes,
Patrick Graham represent Jamaica.
Right.
I trying to pick up on. Did you play Daz?
Yes, I played actually one game
with Christopher Daz.
Yes. Against Knox. Yes.
Those time Intercal was
Yes.
firing the
Oh,
big
yes,
team
man.
and big
Yes,
people.
yes, man.
You also play another sport at GC.
Yeah, man. I played hockey at GC.
Yeah, man, very good and represent the college
Yeah,
very
man.
good. Yeah.
I played hockey. As a matter of fact, I played more hockey for GC than I played football because my first year in college, I never played any football. I never played any football.
Oh, so you play more
Yes.
aggressive.
And I,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
you
man.
and that team also
Yeah,
who
man.
did very well. So GC was quite a journey for you.
Yeah, I played cricket at GC, not intercollegiate cricket, but the first team that entered the junior cup for GC first.
You play junior cup
I
cricket
played junior cup cricket for GC.
with Mr. Gibb?
Yes, man, and Sunday league cricket.
With Gibbo?
Yes, man.
I never know that.
Yes,
I didn't know that part at
yeah,
all.
man.
We never know you play
My
cricket.
first game again for GC first time junior cup was in St. Thomas.
I didn't know that.
Yes, man.
I
Good
didn't
year
know that.
overall.
I don't know too. So you're telling me something
Yeah,
now.
man. St. Thomas team with Jamie Trenchfield.
Right, because at that time was when Mr. Gibb came and started the junior cup
Yeah,
and
man. I played in that team. I started that game. Played as a half spinner.
I didn't know that at all. Refereeing, you're getting in when you start refereeing, I must ask you that man because you were up there, you know. I
Yes,
saw you
man.
doing refereeing. So why how did you get in with refereeing and all of that?
Like most other things in my life,
I'm not talking about football refereeing.
yes,
Yeah.
man. Like most other things in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I seem to fell into my lap.
Mm-hmm.
I often tell the youngsters because I have some youngsters now who from here who are doing well in refereeing, football refereeing as well.
Right.
I sat the referee exam twice.
Twice.
Sat and passed the referee exam twice.
Explain that to me.
My final year at GC Pastor,
Yeah.
course was conducted. I went, I did well, and I was called by Charlie Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in my final semester at college,
Right.
and I had no intention of staying in St. Catherine. So when he called me to be a part of the St. Catherine referee group, I said, listen, I'm from Clarendon, and I'm going back to Clarendon.
We're not,
So I didn't join the St. Catherine group.
Oh.
But strangely enough, I never went back to Clarendon.
Because you're not refereeing a Clarendon.
Uh,
You're refereeing St. Catherine.
yes, the latter years I'm a referee career, I came back to Clarendon.
You came back to
When
Clarendon, but immediately you didn't go back to Clarendon.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, I got a job at Teachers School in high school.
Oh, yes, yes.
But I never pursued refereeing at that time.
Yes, yes.
And eventually, when I decided that I'm going to take up refereeing, I was told that I was dormant for too long. So I needed to resit the exam.
Okay. So you had a pass there, about 2 years or what?
It was more than 2 years, man. Maybe about 3.
3. Oh, so they say you have to do back the and start back again.
Yes, man. So I attended the course,
Uh-huh.
did the exam, passed it again.
Oh. So what those years accounted for? The years in between, right? Because you're not new referee.
Exactly, but it's what there are amendments to the laws, but
Yeah.
in my humble opinion, I never thought I needed to.
To do it
'Cause
again.
I was coaching,
So
and
why-
I was
yeah,
okay with the amendments and all of that.
Is it a case where you could do some
Refresher courses.
refresher, some short courses and
That's what I thought, but I am not one to go and make a mountain out of an anthill. It was just a few weekends, so I just attended the course for the few weekends, did the exam
and get back in?
and get back in.
Yeah. You mentioned a school a while ago, teacher schooling. That was the first job, right?
Yes, not really. My first job was at Kelly's High.
Kelly side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, I had 2 stints at GC first. Remember, in our days going to school, it was mandatory to do the bachelor's.
Right.
You get a diploma, you're good to go.
And you're good to go, right?
So I left with my diploma. I worked at Kelly's High for 8 months.
Okay.
And at the end of the tenure, I decided I'm not going to look another job. I'm going to go back and
Go
complete
back
my
to school.
bachelor's.
Yes, yes.
And I went and
Do the
done the
bachelor.
bachelor's, and
It was after the bachelor they went to teachers.
that, immediately after the bachelor's.
That was when your name started to call as a football coach and people start to take notice because tell me about Teachers Bowling. I believe you went through and your school did well.
Yes,
Tell me
ma'am.
about that.
Teachers was a journey for me. It was an eye-opener.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything that happens in life is by coincidence. I think things are ordained to happen.
Yes.
When I went to Texas Golden, I remember the shift schooling, and they had interform. And I was in charge of organizing the interform. And the bigger boys were playing in the morning,
Yeah.
senior boys. So I went for the first match and we went around there and prepared the field in the morning. The boys came in and started the match. Ball went out for a throw.
Yeah.
And I saw a grade 11 boy took up the ball and used his one hand and hurled it off the length of the field. And I stood and put my hand on my head and I said, Jesus Christ, what am I take up? But the enthusiasm, they had not played for a while.
Yeah.
And when I started with the boys, they showed high levels of enthusiasm and commitment. And we worked, identified some young players, and decided that we are going to work with these players for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a discussion with them, and we got some heavy defeats. We just started.
Yeah. Because the program was just starting back with you.
Yes, man.
You're gonna get back to them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And we were in a zone with Glenn Muir at the time, and Garvin Massey and
Yes,
old
man,
Garvin
the big boy.
So it was a tough initiation for me.
Right.
But I had discussion with the boys. I said, listen to me. Most of you are like 14, 15. These boys that are beating you up, them have to leave school.
Yeah.
So they don't worry yourself. When the time will come.
Yeah.
And you see, when you get youngsters to believe in you, you can get them to do anything.
Okay.
And trust me, those guys believe.
Okay.
And I think one of the greatest assets with those boys, they were brilliant academically.
Oh.
I had the head boy and the deputy head boy
Making the team
as a part of the team. They were the captain and vice captain in my final year. And they were still young boys. Now that 3 of them went on to St. Jago when I left to do sixth form. Teachers Golden did not have a sixth form.
at that time, yeah.
Yes. And they did exceptionally well. Captain St. Jago too, two of them. So they did well.
You did well. I remember at Teshos, the name started to call there Mr. Douglas, Jermaine Douglas, you know, based on football. Centralized. We are presently at Centralized now. You are, how long you have been here? Did you take some battering as a coach in the first part and what happened? Because you are a history coach, you know, so we're going to touch on that. But tell me about Centralized.
In 2011, I had a team at Teshos Golden that advanced to the second round of the DaCosta Cup for the first time in the history of the school.
Okay.
And at the end of the season, during the season, when we qualified for the interzone, and I'm going to digress a little bit, but it's important.
Yeah, very important.
My goalkeeper, his mother and father, they were not father, his mother and uncle, they were killed.
Okay.
Just as we made it out of the zone. Prior to the first game.
Your starting goalkeeper?
A starting goalkeeper.
Wow.
He was, I think, 16 at the time. And I remember we were going to play a game in Portland. And I had a meeting with the youngsters the night before, and I said to him, it's okay for you not to play. Because we understand the circumstances.
Yeah.
Or we were trying to understand the circumstances. They were killed violently. And he was there. Along with his smaller brother.
Wow.
And he said, Coach, I want to play. And I said to the team, listen, if he wants to play, he's going to play. Win, lose, or draw, we owe him this.
Yeah.
And he was very diminutive, you know, not a big goalkeeper, but very athletic. And he played. When we went to the funeral, I met then principal of Central Eye, Mr. Harris.
Yeah.
Mr. Harrison's wife was the bursar at Teshos Golden.
Oh.
So he was aware of what was happening at Teshos Golden.
Yes.
And had even more intimate knowledge than I had.
Yeah.
Because my first conversation with him, and he said to me, I know what you're working with. I know what is being spent at the program.
Right.
The program. And it's nothing compared to what I am spending on my program.
Yeah.
And you are doing better than we are doing.
Oh.
And he offered me a job at Central. And I said, no man, I'm good. Things are moving in the right direction at Teshos Golden. Just advanced, just created history. The team was young too.
Yeah.
And then I got a few more calls from him. And we had some conversations, but I never took it too serious. And one day I was walking across the parking lot at Patience Golden. Some things were happening at the school that kind of threw me off. And I saw his wife, very pleasant lady. And she said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Call Mr. Harrison daddy." She said that he's asking for him. And I said, "Yeah, really?" And I said, "Yes, man." And I called him. And I said, "Are you serious?" And he said, "Listen, man, come and see me tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I came down, had a discussion with him. I tell people this, that I don't have, in my prior role as physical education teacher, I never sent an application to Central High.
Yeah.
I never did a formal interview.
Yeah.
I had a discussion with Mr. Harrison.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to come so bad.
So bad. Know the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just for the football.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to Central never did any external exams in physical education.
Okay.
So my first mandate was to set up the physical education program, CSET program.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that first before I started coaching, because I never coached in the first year.
Right.
I was offered the opportunity, but two persons were already
Here.
in charge of the program.
Right.
And I said to Mr. Harrison, respectfully, allow them to. I wouldn't want anybody to walk into my program during the middle of
Yeah.
the takeover. So I gave them the support I could. One of them ended up assisting me the following year.
Oh,
I
okay.
gave them the support I could, and they never did too bad. I think they missed out by a few points that year. But
So you're when you just came at Central, then you set up the CSEC program, and because you're doing CSEC in PE,
yeah, man.
doing very well, and you're doing CAPE too.
Yeah, man. We were one of the first schools to take on the CAPE syllabus.
It's CAPE syllabus.
The first
Yeah.
year of it
A
coming
CAPE, right? I remember. Yeah, you're doing CSEC and you're doing CAPE,
Yeah.
and you're coaching the football team.
I want to tell you something. After
Yeah.
the second year of CAPE, when you know those lower school year one students will have moved on to year two.
Right.
For almost a year, I carried 38 sessions on my timetable,
Wow.
plus coaching.
Plus coaching. I kind of understand. Some people may not understand, but others will understand the 30th session plus coaching.
Plus
You have to in it to really
Yes,
understand
ma'am.
what it means.
Sessions. Of a maximum 40.
You have to understand that. Mr. Douglas, we're gonna touch an area now where I want you to talk to me. I know you. You say you're not a high person. You do not blow your own horn in terms of this is me and so on. Right? I called you for an interview and it should have happened today. It's happening. So going into Central High School, the DaCosta Cup team of 2022, the team that make it to the finals, be some of the big names. At one time, I must tell you, I was following the team. And at one time, I thought you weren't going through. I think you go through based on goal difference or something happened down the line. But you're going to explain that to me. This is the man who has created history. History 2022. Central High School. I don't know the project. I don't know the budget. But I can tell you that Central High School, in terms of football, was never, and listen what I'm saying, was never a big name in Jamaica. Was never a big name in DaCosta Cup. Schoolboy football in Jamaica. This man has changed it. People are going to look out for Central this year. No doubt about that. I'm telling you, when the Costa Cup starts this year, 2023, people will be paying attention to Central High School. Mr. Douglas, tell me about that journey with the Costa Cup final.
Some things are destined to happen.
Yes.
And I think when destiny calls you, sometimes you just have to embrace it. Last year's team was not the strongest team assembled by myself as Central High School.
Right.
I can tell you that. I have had teams in the past. 2017 team, we got knocked out in the quarterfinal round. That even last night we were talking about it. Some of the past players came. That was an exceptionally talented team with depth, played beautiful football.
Right.
But unfortunately, he got into a zone with Dintil, Manchester Eye, and Froome
Yeah.
in the quarter-final round, and we missed out that year.
Yeah.
That team, I think, would have gone out.
So you said 2017 team was very talented.
Very, very talented.
Talented. Okay.
And person would have seen that team will tell you about it.
Right.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Depth in quality all around. When we started last year, we have a young man who joined the physical education department. And I sat with him under the tree and I was saying to him, I got here that tree next to the field around here.
Right.
This is the worst I have seen the talent pool since I've been here. There were some players.
Let's go again. You are the 2017 team as the most talented.
The most talented.
But they didn't go where you are. And you, last year team, you said based on the talent pool that you have, this is maybe the worst you have faced.
There were some players who had exceptional talent.
Yeah.
But the gap between them and the others.
Oh, so you couldn't get them to.
Right. So
yes,
it was even frustrating for them.
Yeah.
The ones who have the experience.
Someone performing here and some. Yeah.
So it was frustrating for them. And every day after practice, we would sit and we would discuss. And the mantra last year was get yourself to where you want to, mentally, psychologically, and physically. You will find yourself arriving there.
Yeah.
Every day we would sing that.
Yeah.
So I say, the first thing we want to reach is the second round. Put yourself there from now. And we only took it one game at a time. I remember a person who asked me, who are you playing next? And the only thing I could tell them is the next game. We just focus on one game at a time. Put our place yourself there mentally.
Yeah.
And work towards that objective.
Right.
And they work. They work. I'm going to tell you. It's not the most disciplined group of boys.
Right.
But the work ethic.
Dedicated.
Yes. It took me a while to get them to conform.
Yeah.
Because I know we were coming out of COVID and there were issues all around.
Yes, man.
But I am strong and disciplined.
Yeah.
And so after they started conforming, and we started putting in the work. When we played our first preseason game, I saw that something was there.
Okay.
And we played and we were undefeated in preseason. And they started believing. And most people would know this. We lost our first game in DaCosta Cup.
You lost the first game in the
We lost our first game 3-1.
So you came through pre-season undefeated and lost the first match? Wow.
We ended our preseason prematurely. Because, as was said earlier, Central is not a school with a rich history in football.
Right. Yeah.
And so, in terms of an alumni, there is not that alumni that pumps money into football.
Yes, man. Like as I said, like the other schools, they will have the alumni behind them and so on. Yeah.
We have past students who support the school in other areas, but in terms of pumping into football, here and there. Last year we had a group of students, past students who came together and donated a set of training tops for the boys.
Right.
But it's just little gestures like those. But in terms of giving support. So 2 or so weeks before the start of the competition, our boys had nothing on their feet.
Wow. And this is the team that went to the final you're talking about, you know?
Yes. We went and played against Bel-Air with our good friend, Gart.
Yeah, man.
And I could only make 2 substitutions. I started a team based on who had footwear.
Right.
And that was our final game.
So the team that you started is who had footwear?
Who had footwear.
2022?
2022. Our final practice game was against that. Traditionally, we play against Bel-Air almost.
Right. Right.
And we played against them. The guys that went on, both of them were coming directly from under 14. One of them played, I think, about 10 minutes in DaCosta Cup. The other one didn't even register with the team.
Yeah.
But they were the ones who came off the bench. Because they were the others that had footwear to go on the field.
Okay.
So we had to cut the pre-competitive pay short. So when we went into that first game at Denby, they were really matchless. And we got 3-0. and persons were writing us off.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to them that, listen, one bad game does not define, neither does one good game.
Right.
It's about consistency. And we have played against teams during the summer that we know are good teams, and we did well. So we can't allow this one bad result to kind of throw us off. And we went into the other game. The added motivation was that the second game was a televised game. And I remember we played at Glenmere, a doubleheader. Played Patience Golden, ironically. Patience Golden.
You very Patience Golden.
Yes. And I sat with the guys and I said, listen to me. This is your opportunity to show Jamaica
Yeah.
what you can do.
Yeah.
And they put on a show. They put on a show, and then the person started paying attention. We started paying attention. I think towards the back end of the season, we went away from our philosophy.
Yeah.
And then we focused more on result rather than the aesthetics of the game.
Oh, okay.
But initially, we played some brilliant football in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant football in the first one.
Okay.
And then we
And then right through to the final. I remember that semi-final against Manchester I at State. It was the semi-final, that night match there. Excited. That was the game. What it finished? What?
1-1.
1-1, and then you went in the extra. You scored in the extra time?
No penalties. We went straight to penalties.
Oh, penalties, man. Yes, the penalties. I remember senior boys running around the field that night and
Yes,
so on,
man.
and beating the highly fancied Manchester Eye, and you went to the final. Two Clarendon teams in the final.
Yes.
What is happening in Clarendon where the DaCosta Cup is concerned? Because I must ask you that too.
It's a culture. It's a culture. I don't think Clarendon does anything that other parishes don't do. As a matter of fact, I think other parishes do more in youth football than Clarendon.
Yeah.
But when it comes on to schoolboy football,
Yeah.
the culture is there.
A Clarendon team is going to the final.
It's the culture is there, and the guys are motivated from primary school.
Right.
And it affects us as an underdog team in the parish. Because a lot of the time, the students who pass to come to Central Life, who are football players from primary school, they don't come here.
Oh, they go to the school
recruited before
they reach. Yeah, yeah. So when you're looking out, yeah. And then you don't have that strong behind you, so they go to the other. I get what you.
We don't have anything to offer them.
To offer them,
except a space at the school.
A school, a man get
an opportunity to get an education.
Yeah, and they can get bigger.
Everybody can offer that. And,
yeah,
and other things.
Another things. How's the team this year?
We retain a lot of players. We have lost key players.
Yeah.
I lost 2/3 of my midfield. The skipper and Shane, the number 11. He was a standout player last year. Both of them are gone from the midfield, so only Nathaniel remains in the midfield, the number 10. We are losing players who we didn't expect to lose. One young man, Javel, should be leaving on Saturday to go on scholarship.
Oh, scholarship,
yes, man,
yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And I said that to them.
Yes, man.
When they were sent to the scholarship extravaganza at St. Elizabeth, I said to them, listen, all of you that are going can play back. But if you get an opportunity, I'll drive you to the airport.
Yes, man. Of course.
And he got his opportunity, and we are proud of him and hope he will do well.
Yeah.
Open the door for others.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But we have the core of the players here.
And Central should be in the mix this year again.
Yes. But the burden of expectation, we don't know how they will react. So
yes, because let me tell you, people are looking out for Central.
I know.
You went to the final last year, things have changed. You know that. You're a bright young man. I know that. So things have changed. This is Central now. This is not the little Central back in the day. This is Central High School, and people gonna face you different, and people gonna take you serious. Out of the box question, I always ask without even you knowing. You see yourself in the national program?
I think long term, yes. I think I need to build myself as a coach
Yeah.
and be around persons who have been there and done that a bit more. I don't want to go to that level, not being prepared.
Yes.
So if the opportunity comes for me to go to that level, I want to be mentally prepared,
Mentally
tactically prepared,
prepared.
everything for that. But who wouldn't want to be? Once you have ambition,
Yes.
you want to be at the highest level. You want to. One of the things that I've experienced in my life is I have never, at the schoolboy level, been assistant to an experienced coach. So I have
Oh,
learned
you
on
were
the
just
job.
thrown in the water?
I have learned on the job.
On the job. Oh,
On the
okay.
job.
You weren't okay. I get you. So everything that you're doing is you. It's not somebody else.
Yes, man. And I do a lot of research. Last year, the amount of hours I spent watching tapes. Every team that we would have competed against last year, I would have searched the YouTube for every video I could find
Yeah.
and watch and prepare for them.
Okay, for them. Okay. And that. You had a project. You still have here?
Yes, um, I'm still at the. I joined the group last January.
I'm sorry, just to let the listeners know, the viewers, is VERE United in the National Premier League in Jamaica. So tell me about this VERE project. You are the assistant coach there, right?
Yes, man.
Yes.
Well, last year after the cup ended, I was getting some offers.
Right.
But a lot of the offers I was getting was offers from schools.
Mm-hmm.
And my situation here is complex because I'm not just merely a coach here. So to
Yeah.
leave here and to go somewhere else is gonna take some form of adjusting and
Yeah.
some serious discussion. So I was sitting around there one evening. I think we had a junior football training, and I got a call from Lamar Morgan. Lamar Morgan, the physical trainer for the national team,
Yeah.
a good friend, and said someone wanted to speak with me, and then Linval Dixon came on the phone and asked me if I would come and assist him on here. And I jumped at the opportunity to garner more experience at a higher level.
Yeah.
Like I say, on the journey to probably somewhere else.
To somewhere else.
Yeah,
You never know.
yeah, man. But it was a tough season for us at Vera. I went in, the team languished at the bottom of the table for most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
There are exodus of players, the transfer window just before I went there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a young team. So the objective was to consolidate and maintain the status of the club in the Premier
In
League.
the Premier League, which you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, man, we did that comfortably in the end.
Right.
So we are grateful for that.
How you see VERE this year?
As we speak, we are doing recruitment for the playing staff.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get what we are hoping to get from this process, we want to challenge for that top six.
That's top six.
Yes.
In the money part.
Yeah,
Top six.
I mean, if you're going to be in a competition and you're aiming to compete
Top
among
six,
the
yes.
elite, then what's the sense?
Yeah.
So if we get all that we desire, we are hoping that we can be in the mix.
In the top six. Right. Sir Douglas, you have a chance to talk to the central community. It's the school and so on. The DaCosta Cup is coming up in September. Go ahead and talk to them.
Essentially, we have become a family. We have had our ups and downs. Last year was a journey for us, not only in football but as an institution. We have grown. We have gotten the attention of not only Jamaica but the wider Caribbean and maybe even the world. But it gets more difficult now. The boys are here and down now. They need all the support they can get. The school needs all the support it can get. we still are lacking in facilities. We don't have a play field. So Dwayne will go around there and see the play field shortly. It's not suitable for, I think, not even football. Even football, but we have been making it work. But we want to get to a point where we can compete with the elite consistently. And in order to do that, we need all stakeholders to be a part of the journey. Yes, man, let us celebrate together again as we enter a new season.
Sir Douglas, thank you. Respect, man. Thank you, man.
Man,
Been a while.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, man. You may see me talking to Mr. Mr. Douglas in an interview. It's very, very strange. Very, very strange because this is the man who I can call it. Listen, we go very deep, you know. Yeah, as I was saying, you may see me talking to Mr. Douglas, but as I said, we go very, very deep, man. I know this man very, very well. I'm very proud of him. I'm very, very proud of his achievement. I know the journey from GC Foster, follow it through to station schooling, now at Central. It's not easy. It's not easy for him. It's not easy. I can tell you that. It's not easy when you do not have the backing team. Plus, imagine reaching the final of Jamaica schoolboy, DaCosta Cup, the rural area DaCosta Cup football. It's not easy. So many schools competing. And this man has created history for Central Eye in Clarendon. And we have to really give him his respect. As I said, people will be looking out for Central Eye this year. I myself will be watching. The zone is very tough. When you leave that zone and you come out, things can happen. He said he's prepared. He have a team, right? Until then, I'm Lenwet Duhaney. Please go and subscribe to the channel. Please. Let me ask you again. Go and subscribe, like the video, share the video, man. We need this. Come on, man. We need to keep this movement going. I'm in Clarendon, Jamaica. If you know Jamaica, you'll understand.